guys, Carol here from Desert Wreath Creations, and I'd like to welcome y'all to my garage crafting lair. So today for you I have a Dollar Tree and Dollar General DIY. So first of all, you're going to need, as we go over the supplies, you're going to need 4 of the mini Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree. You're also going to need 1 roll of this snowball looking tool that's like 6.5 inches wide by 3 yards. You're going to need 4 candy canes from the Dollar General. You're going to also need some pipe cleaners of the color of your choice. You're going to need around 11 of these, and I just picked out these pretty ones here. And I got those at the Dollar Tree. You're gonna need some ornaments, and I picked these up this year already at the Dollar Tree. We're gonna be using, for this project, the red ones and the white glittered ones. You're also going to need about, I think, 7 zip ties, okay? The tool part of it, you're gonna need something to cut your zip ties with, and your pipe cleaners. I have these needle nose. You're also going to need something that you can pull off the tops of the ornaments. You can do it with your hands. I just find I use these old needle nose pliers. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and also ice pick, something sharp, so that I can show you how we're going to attach some of our items. And least but not last, we're going to need some ribbon. I just picked out 2 colors of ribbon I had. This polka dot one here, I got it at Wal-Mart. And this white iridescent with sort of a candy cane stripe, I got at Hobby Lobby. So this is all the tools we're going to need for this project. So why don't I go ahead and clear this off. Oh, one more thing. You're going to need a hot glue gun. And I've got mine here. And not a whole lot of glue sticks. 1 would probably be enough. Okay? So I'm going to clear this off. We're going to come back and we're going to get started. Be right back, guys. What you get when you open a box is something that looks like this. It has a big wide end on it, and 3 pieces that you can slide in to make it a Christmas tree. We're not going to need any of these, so let's get rid of them. And we're no longer going to need the box, so let's get rid of it. And we're no longer going to need this, and this comes off real easy just by pulling. But, however, let me get my glue gun. You will want to, before you start handling it much, is to go ahead and put a little dab of glue, like so, because see, just by touching that, that has already come undone. And then I'm just going to make sure that the glue gets on it, so therefore it won't unravel while you're messing with it. There we go. And that's what you've got. So since we've taken care of this, let's go ahead and just start pulling out the branches down on this tree. Okay? We're just going to pull them down, and there's just sections of them. See, like that's one section, and then you'll go and start pulling down, and then there's another section. And we're just going to sort of pull them on down. And then another little section. Keep going on down. And this is similar to this one, came all the way down here. Fluffing a tree, basically, or fluffing a, if this was a regular swag, this would be fluffing a swag. Sort of separating the branches so that you actually can see what you've got. We've got a real long, tall one. Okay, up here, all there is like 3 branches. So I'm going to take this long, tall one here that's basically in the middle, of it. And I'm just going to bend it over and take the long edge, and I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom and sort of hook it through that inside and bend it. That way we just have a shorter little branch. So you've got anywhere from 8 to 9 on this bottom. And I just split them in half and sort of bring them out to the side. And on each one of these little sections, that's basically what I'm doing. Okay, just pull that one that way, and up here you've only got basically 2, to where then it looks similar to that right there, like a real holy Christmas tree. I've gone ahead and separated the other ones. So we said we were going to do 4, so that's what we've got here. So now that we've got 2 of them side by side, I'm going to raise the branches up on this side, just sort of bring them to the top. There's a little straggler there, that's okay. And then the opposite direction on the other side. And then we're going to push these together, okay, and sort of even them out. Now this is where our zip ties are going to come in handy. We're going to bring them over here. We don't need this no more. And I'm going to go through one of these bare spots right up here at the top, because we're going to zip tie it in several places. And then I'm going to come into the other side like so. But I want to make sure that I zip tie it on the top, because the other side will be facing the door, and I don't want it to end up scratching the door. And I put that zip tie or something in backwards because it didn't click. So let's try it again. That time it clicked. Make sure I got all the branches. There we go. I'm just going to pull it down snug for right now. Come down here a couple of spaces, and we're going to do the same thing once again. Get it to where I can see it there. Then we're going to come on down here. We've got it pretty even, about right there. And I'm going to come on down here to the bottom, and I'm going to place one down here. Now this is where another part of my needle nose pliers is going to come in, so that I can pull this really snug and it fits together. I'm going to come back in here in this middle one and find it, pulling it really snug, and again up here at the top. Just make sure it's real tight. Then I'm going to come and just go ahead and clip these zip ties off, and that'll make it really good and secure. Okay? Now we're going to do the same thing to this one here that's already fluffed. We're just going to bring these sides back and over, and this side back and over. Butt them up against each other again. Get us some more zip ties over here. Let's turn it sideways so I can see it here. Bringing these up really close to each other. And you may even have to, pull these over just a little bit more. That way they don't get in your way as much. That's about right. So we're going to go right up here to the top, flip it over to the right side, pull it pretty snug, find us a spot in the middle. Right here looks as good as any. A white zip tie and white trees. Pull it snug. Making sure I've got them lined up pretty even. Then I'm going to come down here to the bottom. Get those needle nose pliers. Some of them's got more of this wrapping around it than the others, and you never know. Okay, let's find this middle one we did. Well, I know where the top one is, so let's get to it first. And what this does, instead of using two, which you can use two, just two Christmas trees, I find that it covers the spine, or that steel metal rod that's running through the center, and makes it look fuller. Okay, now let's go back and clip these off. There it is. I keep losing that one tonight. Okay. Couple more zip ties. Now see how much fuller that looks just with that by itself. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's sort of make sure that these are going to lay flat, and this one is going to lay flat, and let's push these two back and these two back. Now we've got these two stems right here. Okay, first what we're going to do is we're going to take some glue and we're just going to put a generous amount. This is just some added security. And then we're going to lay this one right on top of it and hold it for a minute. This is really good because it's got that wrapped twine around it. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to slide a zip tie right up under it. You can use a thicker zip tie if you'd like. And the first one I'm going to tighten down is going to be the one right here in the center. The next one is going to be down towards this end. And then the last one right here on this end. Then I'm going to take, pull real tight, going to cut these off. And I'm just going to take a dab of glue and put it over each one of those, and some just right down the side of it in the center. There we go. We'll let that dry. And while we're letting that dry, let's go ahead and get our ribbon ready. Okay? So we've got, this is considered a 1.5 inch ribbon. And this ribbon came from, like I said, Wal-Mart. And then we've got a 2.5 inch ribbon. You can use all 1.5 inch ribbon, or you can use all 2.5. That's your preference. You can use any colors that you like. So I'm going to roll some ribbon out. I'm going to measure out 10 inches. I believe 10 inches is all we're going to need. And I'm just going to cut a piece of ribbon. Okay? Then I'm going to come over here, measure this one out, and cut 10 inches of ribbon. Okay? Then I'm going to fold this ribbon in half, like so. And I'm going to fold the ends of it over in half upon itself, to where you have your folded edge that has no wire, and this edge has all the wire. I'm going to cut from the folded edge with no wire at a slant out to the wired edge to make what we call a V, a dovetail, and it'll look just like that right there. I'm going to do the same thing to the 2.5 inch ribbon, fold it in half. I'm going to take it, I'm going to fold it in half again, and I'm going to cut from the folded edge with no wire out to the edge that has wire. And that way we have another pretty V, or a dovetail. Okay? So I went ahead and cut all of the other ribbons. You will only need 4 of each ribbon. Only 4 of each ribbon. Okay? So there's not a whole lot of ribbon besides when we go to make us a bow. And that will be at the very end of the tutorial. I like to put straight pins or big quilting pins in my ribbon to keep it rolled up. And then I'll stack it over to the side till we're ready to make us a bow. Okay? So now we have our ribbon ready. We're going to put it right up here with our Christmas tree. Now we're going to bring in our snowball, snow drift, whatever tool that we got from the Dollar Tree. This stuff is only 6.5 inches wide. You find the end. It's only 6.5 inches wide, like from here to here, but it's 3 yards long. And for each set of ribbons, you're going to need 2 pieces. So first of all, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to sort of straighten up this edge and make it look a little straighter. Okay. We're going to cut it to 10 inches. And like I said, so you will need, where you only needed 4 ribbons here of each one, you're going to need 8 pieces, 10 inches long, of I chose green with the snowball tool. Okay, so I'm going to come out here to the 20-inch mark. Now you can use a ruler. You can use what I have here is I have what they call a seamstress tape, one of those really soft tapes, to where you can measure it out and cut it. Whatever you have available is what you can use. I have my ruler right here on my mat. I'm going to cut another one. And like I said, you will need 2 of these for each one ribbon. Okay, so there's our 2. I went ahead and cut the other ones that we're going to be using. Okay? So what we're going to do is that we're going to take a piece of the tulle. We're going to take one corner and we're going to fold it up until we have a pointed to where you bring this edge all the way up to this edge, and it makes sort of like a point. Okay? Then I'm going to just sort of turn it around, just holding it with my hand, and I'm going to bring this edge here all the way flush with this edge. You will have a little bit of an overlap. That's perfectly fine, like this. And it's sort of got a sharp point here and a sharp point there, a long area. You can use your mat, your whatever you have, a ruler to find the middle. I just sort of guesstimate where my middle is, and I take my 2 thumbs and my fingers, and I just sort of hold my fingers on it. Take my 2 thumbs and I just sort of ruffle it right up the center. And this is going to sort of mimic, and I just sort of help find the center of it. This is sort of going to mimic like a leaf. Okay? I'm going to take a clothespin, whatever I have, or you can go ahead and take one of your twisty ties and pull it over and just twist it one time just to hold it. Then we're going to repeat the process one more time. We're just going to, this is what they consider the pretty side, because see how this rolls up? We're going to take this, fold it over, turn it around, and then I'm going to fold this one over to this pointed side here. I'm going to eyeball the center, take my thumbs with my fingers, and I'm just going to ruffle it up the center until I can turn it over, and if it looks pretty much in the middle, it's good. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay? So now I had this one in a tie. I'm just going to undo it, pick it up, and then I'm going to cross them, just like so. Makes it look like a windmill or a cross. Then I'm going to put my tie right back on. But I think I'll do it from the back up, and I think that's going to make it easier. Sort of get it in the middle, right there. Twist it one time. Then I'm going to take my ribbon with the pretty side up and the other ribbon with the pretty side up and put it right in the middle. Right in the middle. I'm going to fold it over, okay? And what that's going to do is that's going to help us find our center. Pull it out. Now I'm going to take my thumbs again, and I'm going to ruffle right up the middle where we folded it in half, and that is our center. Okay? I like to sort of take mine and give it a little bit of a curve. Now I'm going to come over here where I have left this pipe cleaner. I'm going to set it down in the middle, and then I'm going to twist it just one time. Then where it splits right here, I'm going to pull that around, and where it splits right here, I'm going to pull that around to the back side of it. Straighten out my little leaves, as I'm calling them. I pull it snug. I twist it again. And that's what we come up with. Then what you're going to do is this, you're going to take these two ribbons and you're just going to pull them apart a little bit. Okay? And you're going to take these two, and I like to go opposite. And I'm going to just pull these two apart just a little bit. And I sort of put my fingers up like so. And there we have like a little bundle. Okay? So now that we've got one bundle, let's do one more. Let's take, this is the nice side, let's flip it over. Let's go ahead and fold it one way. Push it around to the other side. Take this side right here. Fold it up to the straight edge so we can get another point. Okay. We're going to take it in the center. We're sort of going to ruffle it up, holding our fingers. Hold it up, see if we're in the center. If not, we scoot those little fingers over some. We take us a pipe cleaner, fold it in half, and let's just put it there to hold it. Twist it one time. Then we bring us another piece over. Fold it down till it makes their little point. You can even slide your fingers down it. Turn it around to the other side. Whoops. Nope, I had it right. Oh. No, I didn't. Bring this one over to a point. And we've got our point. We're going to ruffle it right up the middle. Flip it over. Need to go down some. So we're about right there. Bring our other one back over here. We're going to unruffle or undo the tie. We're going to take it. We're going to crisscross it. Bring our pipe cleaner from the back to the top. Twist it one time. Spread it out. Spread our little leaves out. Get us two more pieces of ribbon. Lay our ribbon in the center of it. Fold it in half again to find our center. Open it up. Take our thumbs and our little fingers right here guiding us, and just push it up the center. Give it a little shape. Okay. Open our pipe cleaner up. Figure out which way I twisted it. Right there. We're going to lay this in the center. We're going to take it and we're going to twist it back one time. Sort of pull these apart. I'm going to take it around to this side, pulling it around to the back, to this side, pulling it around to the back, pull it a little snug, and twist it again. We're going to come over here, and if it looks a little crooked, just straighten it out. That's all you've got to do. And we're just going to pull these apart, give them a little life, a little body. Separate these by going the opposite direction and pull them apart. All you got to do is run your little fingers under them, and everything will work out just fine. So now we've got 2 of these. You would continue to do these until you had them all done up, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab 2 of our Christmas ornaments here and here. We're going to take the caps off of them. These balls are shatterproof. They came from the Dollar Tree. I add a little glue to the edge. Just to one edge is all you need, and I put the cap back on. A little glue to the edge, and I put the cap back on. I decided to use this really pretty one here that's got the like top-like appearance, and one of the white glittered ones. We're going to take a pipe cleaner here, another one of these pretty silver ones. We're going to fold it in half. We're going to take where this was glued on, where it would go onto a Christmas tree, there's a hole in it. We're going to pull it through. Doesn't matter which side you go to pull the next one through until they come together like so. Then we're going to take this pipe cleaner with enough slacks to where they're still touching each other, and we're just going to twist it about 2 times. All right? And that's how that's going to go on. So let's bring our Christmas tree back over here. Our bow that we're going to make and we're going to put it to go right there. Right now, all we're going to do is sort of fluff this out a little bit, moving these branches around from side to side because we can join these 2 together. We don't want them to be sticking up real high here in the middle. But what I'm actually doing is I'm fluffing. If you can see, we're actually losing this steel bar that's going through them. So what I've done to do that is I'm pulling them. If one was on one side, I'm crossing them over to the other side. Okay? Or vice versa. And that helps cover that metal up. And it also helps get rid of those, it makes it look fuller to where you can't see as many holes down in the side of it. Just doing it up here the same way. If you have to do more than one, that's quite all right. A lot of the other will be covered up by the ribbon and everything and our Christmas balls. So we basically have gotten this end done. So now we're just going to do the same thing, sort of go backwards and forth. And you can tell it just looks so much prettier already. Let's criss that one over. Sometimes I forget which ones I cross. So I find another one. That one right there. There we go, guys. That one looks like it. Or you can even take these and twist them and come out the other side, which is also a really good way to hide that center and still keeping them look really pretty. If these are stuck together here on the sides, unstick them. It's all about what you want your design to look like. I love that. And this is about 27 inches long, and at the widest point right now it is about 13 inches. Okay, so when you turn it back over, you can see where those sections were at. All right, so what we want to do, and where I like to start at, is I like to start at where this section is right here at the top. So I'm going to take one of these bundles that we made, and I'm going to take the pipe cleaner underneath it, and with holding it with the ribbon going this to one side and to the other side, I'm going to come across that bar right there where there was a bare spot here in the back. Okay, I'm going to take that pipe cleaner and I'm just going to twist it really snug 3 or 4 times, and I'm just going to leave it there. And then I'm just going to, now you can pull it whichever direction you need to. I like to sort of pull these leaves going out. And there's our ribbon. Now I'm going to take our little ornaments and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go into one side and down the other side, right around that same area. You'll have to reposition your ribbon, which is okay. I want to get it pretty much there before I pull it snug. And I'm just going to flip it over here again, and I'm going to pull snug, and I'm going to twist that pipe cleaner 3 or 4 times. Then I'm going to take these 2 pipe cleaners and I'm going to twist them together. That's going to really secure and hold that well. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend it back up and around so that this back stays really nice and neat. We'll bring this back over, pull our ribbons, that are crisscross, and if you need to pull on them some, that's not a problem. This one needs to be tugged on a little bit. There we go. And that's what that's going to look like. If you need to pull on your tree leaves, that's quite all right too. Okay? So now we're going to take our next bundle, and if you'll turn it over, we're not going to go, there's our first one, we're not going to go directly into this next one right next to it. we're going to skip that one. And we're going to go into the one, we're going to skip one and then go into the next one. Okay? I'm just sort of going to clear me a path for my pipe cleaner. You get it in the direction I want it to go. Because I want the ribbons to go the same way as I did a while ago, out to each side. Got a limb in my way. And if you've got to hang on to the back of it, pull your leaves out, whatever you've got to do to position it. Okay? We're going to turn it over. Hold it tight and twist it 3 or 4 good times. We're going to get us another set of our Christmas balls. Going to go right back in behind there. And right back in behind this other one over here. Bring it down and around. Pulling it a little snug. Let's go ahead and get our little green leaves or poinsettia leaves out of the way. Our ribbons, pull them snug. We can straighten them up here in a minute. Pull our ornaments snug and twist it 2 or 3 times. 4. Come back here, gather them all together and twist and tighten them down. Or you can do this after you're through. Clip it, bend it under, back and around. Come back to this side, pull on that ribbon, you can tug on it. It's in there nice and tight. And that's what we have with 2 more in there. And that's what that's going to look like for right now. So let me go ahead and finish making my bundles. We'll come back and we'll put them in together. And then we're going to move on to putting the candy canes in and making the bow. So let's start at the other end, just like we started a while ago. So let's find that piece, which is going to be right here. Our ribbons pointed out to the sides. Let's grab it. Put our little pipe cleaner down in there. These are sort of sticking up a little bit too far, so we're just going to push them down a little. Wrap it around. Still got another one that needs to go to the side, just like so. There we go. Move our little poinsettia leaves. Pull snug. Tighten it up 3 or 4 good times. Straighten out our poinsettia now. Here. Grab us a set of ornaments. We're going to go right back down in there, and right back over here down under there, grabbing, you get it back up in there, there we go, and holding it till we can get it positioned right back in the middle, pulling it snug. We lost a ribbon. Let's get our ribbon back. Our leaf. Pull down snug and twist. One back here. I'm going to go ahead, catch our other ones, and we're going to twist them together. Clip them off. And we're just turning them back and around. Straighten our leaf, our ornaments. And there we go. Coming on down, we're going to skip one. We're going to skip one. We're going to come on down to about right here, wasn't it? Let's see. Let's see, right here. Right up here. Find my little spot. Here we go. Bring out our little bundle. One side of it. To the other side. Gonna have to sort of turn it around. We've got some branches that are sort of sticking up. We're gonna sort of push them down some. Get our ribbons. Pull it down snug. Tie it 3 or 4 good times. Get our leaves. I love that green. And our ribbons. And some more ornaments. Split that right there. See if I can't find it. Yeah, there it is. Make sure we've got them both. Pulling our leaves and all out again. And we're going to twist it tight. find our ends, twist them together. This just keeps our back very nice and tidy. Clip it off, turn it back and around. Sort of got wrinkled. Remember, we can pull on them as much as we need to straighten them out. And now we've got our ribbons and ornaments on, guys, and I think that's pretty stunning. So now, let's bring our candy canes in. So what we have to do with these candy canes is number one, let's just go ahead and clip this annoying tag off. Get it out of our way. And if you notice, if we put this one candy cane, it's a double, in, there's not enough room for it. So what I have been doing is I have been sort of, these will just break, remember they're styrofoam. I go down in between them with my scissors and I cut very carefully. You can sort of maneuver down in between them. I've only been able to save one or two of the other candy canes. The rest of them, they don't save so well. They get a little, they break, okay? You might try an X-Acto knife and then just use the good side of the candy cane, but I try to get the glue. And right there, I got the glue to lift up. Let's see if we can finish getting it to lift up right here. Looks like maybe so. Let me get that little cut right there. Okay. Well, this one's no good. And our little apron fell off. So, you know what? Let's get our handy dandy glue gun. But it's just a little tab of glue right there. And glue our little apron back in. Or I call it an apron. It's really a little tiny pine cone. And on the back of them, I'm going to take this device here. It's like an ice pick and all. You can use the tip of an X-Acto knife. And I'm just going to push in. Remember, these are styrofoam under the cloth. I'm going to poke my little glue gun in, okay? Then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. I'm going to fold it in half. I'm going to take my cutters here, clip it in half. Then I'm going to fold this in half again. And I'm going to push it together really well down here at this end. And where I made this hole right here, I'm going to push it right inside it and let that glue set. Alright? And that's how we get our little candy cane. And as you can tell, one's going to be more than enough for the size of area that we have. Let me move that out of our way. We're going to let this and dry for a minute. Okay. So I went ahead and did the other four. And so with this little stem, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to go right down in one side and the other side. All it's going to take is this half pipe cleaner. Pulling it through with your fingers. We'll turn it over. pull it down snug and twist it. When I do designs, I always like to find a way that I can put it in without having to actually glue it to something. Glue works, not a problem, but I like to have everything secured really well. Okay, and now we've got us a little candy cane right down in that. I think it just gives it a little something. We're going to do this one right down here, go in the same direction. Moving it around just a tiny bit. These you don't have to pull really super hard to tie them down in. Just getting them down in there stable is it's really good. Just twisting those ends together really well and bending it over. Okay, it just adds a little something to it. Now, before we put our other two in, we're going to go ahead and make the bow. So we'll be able to see where we're going to position these two at. That'll stinker right there. Okay, let's set this right over here. Bring out my Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. This is what I use. I have these available in my shop on Etsy if y'all need a bow maker. Okay, let's bring our ribbon right back in. We're going to start off with this 2.5 inch. And what I like to do is to see how wide of a space that I've actually got. So I spread my ribbon out across it. Let me move this over here to where you can see. And it looks like I've got 12 inches across. So if I make a 6-inch loop on each side, that would be perfect. So let's do that. Whoops, put it right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to make like a 6-inch tail. So what I'm doing here is measuring to 6 inches on my board, or you can measure 6 inches on your mat. And I'm going to stick it down in here. I'm going to smash it or ruffle it, whatever terminology you want to do. And I'm going to twist it really nice. And then I'm going to move this tail right up here to the top. I pull out a lot of ribbon. There is a 6-inch mark. We measured it. We know it can accommodate a 6-inch loop. So that's what we're making. We're going to come over here. We're going to make us another 6-inch loop. Oops. Get it right there. But this time we're going to twist it again. Okay. I'm going to move this loop up here with this tail. I'm going to move this loop down here. And then I'm going to make two more loops. Another one at 6 inches. So I'm going to twist like so. And then right across from it, right up here, I'm going to make another one. But this time I am not going to twist. I am just going to set that or scrunch that loop, that ribbon, right back up and in there. And I'm going to come down here about 6 inches and I'm going to cut it. Excuse me. And that's what that's going to look like. Didn't scrunch it down in there good enough. There we go. Now, let's go ahead and bring in this pretty polka dot. And we're going to come over here to the 6 inch. We're going to twist it. We're going to bring it down this time. We're going to come down to the 5 inch. We're going to come down a whole inch. Okay? And what I'm doing is I am putting this, we made a big X with these. Now all I'm doing is putting a loop right in between them, a 5 inch loop. Okay? I'm going to go up this time. And I'm going to trim it off. I have a free bow tutorial on Facebook if anyone's interested. Desert Wreath Creations bow tutorial. You're more than welcome to jump over there and check us out. Okay. So now I'm going to come back in, just using the 2 ribbons. I'm going to come back in with this pretty ribbon again. Another 6 inch. Okay. I'm going to twist it. I'm going to bring it down towards me. I'm going to come over here, put it in my bow maker. I'm going to come right back out here. And I'm only going to come down here till about the 4 inch. And I'm just going to make another little loop. Okay? Then I'm going to come right over here to the opposite side and make another about a 4 inch loop. And then I'm going to smash it down in there, and then I'm going to move this up here to the top and cut it off. I only made 2 loops this time. And let's roll this one up. Now let's bring back in this polka dot. Again, about a 6 inch. I'm gonna, it's a little longer. Here we go. About a 6 inch. I'm gonna go up this time. Okay. I'm gonna go about a 3 inch, and I'm gonna go up. And I'm going to do another 3 inch, about right here, right over that loop, smash it down in there again, and bring this one down. And that's where we're going to stop at. So what I like to make sure is that I've got all of my loops where they should be and all of these pretty tails where they should be. Okay? I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. I'm going to fold it in half and find the center of that pipe cleaner. I like to turn my bow maker long ways in front of me. I like to take my middle finger and my pointer finger and just sort of lift some of this ribbon up to where I can get these 2 fingers right in beside these 2 dowels. And then I put my thumb on top and I just lift the ribbon up take my pipe cleaner on each side, because these holes represent where these two dowels were right here. I'm going to come out here, I'm going to take a hold of these, and I'm just going to put some tension on them. When I put that tension, I'm going to put my thumb, and as I push in with my thumb, I'm going to pull out, and then I'm going to start a twist, but I'm going to twist the bow, okay? I'm not twisting the pipe cleaner. So basically, your bow is already fluffed and really pretty because everything is where it should go. All I'm doing is just sort of moving these tails where they should look and go. And see, with pushing and pulling, that makes this loops stand out really pretty. And so there is our pretty bow to go on our swag. So we're going to move this. So here's the wires. We're going to come right down in here in the center. This is what it looks like turned over. I'm taking these two wires and I'm just twisting them really good. Twisting it really, really good. And like I said, I like to go ahead and twist all of mine out. Then I'm going to tuck it up and around. Now I'm just moving the loops where I want them because I'm going to spread them out a little bit. Let's move this one like that. And now I'm also taking these branches and sort of helping fill in that bald spot by moving them to the center. Okay, we left it till we got the bow on it. So I've done it on this side. Now let's do it on this side, sort of, because we'll need to push down on some of these anyway. Pull them right up under there. It helps the bow, helps it hold its shape. Keeps it fluffy. You'll have to go back and fix your little tails and all here because they will get smashed. Okay. So now, once I have my bow on, that's when I like to go back and dovetail. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it in half and we're going to cut from the folded side to the wired side. I like my dovetails in a situation like this to be all different sizes. So let's fold it in half, cut it off, and all I'm doing is taking my fingers, that's a loop, and running it under the ribbon. So let's fold it in half. Here's another one over here. Sort of separate these tails. Because you can move them anywhere you want them. how I just took that and pulled on it? That's all you have to do. Let's fluff this loop up. Let's go to this end over here now. Continue to dovetail them. Here's another one. Take those fingers. If you don't like that one right there, you can move it. I want this one a little shorter. Like I said, they do not have to match. Spread out those loops, guys. Put your fingers in there and move them around. If it doesn't look even, which this one's sort of leaning, I'm going to pull it over. Just fine. I think that looks adorable. Get your other ones out here. Straighten them up. And myself, I do not think that we need the other two candy canes. If you wanted to, you could put them in the bow somehow. You could glue them in the bow. That's what might be what we do. Let's see. We clip this pipe cleaner. It's not going to show. Let's clip this one. We're going to improvise here. There's nothing wrong with improvising. Okay. So let's take the glue. These are super lightweight. We're only going to put some right down here on the end. We're going to pull this forward, stick it down, sort of move it over. And put it in our bow. Our little pine cone, it doesn't want to stay on these things. So let's take this one, put a little glue, doesn't take much, right there on the end. I'm lifting these up, laying it in there. And now we've got our two other candy canes in it. Okay, so this is what we have. I hope you've enjoyed the tutorial. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I love questions. And let me know what your thoughts are. So y'all have a nice afternoon, and I'll see you the next time I put something out.